Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode Volume 2 here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day coming off of our first top 10 here in the NASCAR Cup Series in the last episode at Mid-Ohio. Heading into now our first mile-and-a-half test here on the season. This is the track, of course, that we visit the most on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule is a mile-and-a-half. So this is a big testing ground for a 4-star car with Richard Childress Racing. And speaking of that 4-star car for this Richard Childress Racing team, check out the brand new paint scheme we are running here with the full Spotify car instead of a mixed Spotify Menards car. It's now a full-on Spotify car that we have here, and this was made by Lation. You guys, if you watched the first edition of this career mode, you know who Lation is by now, and a beautiful paint scheme that he put together for us here. So shout out to Lation. I'll have his, of course, socials there in the description. You can go check him out, especially on Twitter and whatnot, and even his YouTube channel if you would like, as we would get underway though in qualifying. And like I said, today's episode being a very big testing ground for us here with this Richard Childress Racing team. We're on a 4-star car, so we're not really going to be competing for wins in our rookie season at a track like a mile-and-a-half. So here we go, coming through to cross the line. This is where we really find out what we have, and it's going to be a 24th place effort here in qualifying for the Dixie Vodka 400 from Homestead Miami Speedway. So obviously not a lot of pace in this car, but it could be a lot worse. Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson will be your front row here from Homestead Miami Speedway, as our teammates, of course, Austin Dillon up there in the 17th position, Tyler Reddick just a few positions back there in 19th place as we were ready to get going here from Homestead Miami Speedway. So our teammates all qualify us, but we've only done 2 Cup races so far in our Cup Series career, so I'm not concerned. And actually, speaking of Tyler Reddick, he's now actually starting at the back because he crashed during qualifying. Alex Bowman had an engine change after qualifying, so that number 48 Ally Financial Chevrolet will be starting at the back of the grid as well there. Now as we are ready though to go green flag racing here from Homestead Miami, we move up a couple of positions, but I'm most focused on the long run here at Homestead Miami. I feel like that's where hopefully we can really start to pounce on some drivers. The short run gonna be more about a survival aspect here now as we're about to get underway with Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson leading the field to the green flag as we are now underway from Homestead Miami. Bubba Wallace, the Daytona 500 winner, Daniel Suarez, our Alliance teammate with the Trackhouse debut season, just behind us as we head down into turns 1 and 2 for this opening lap here from Homestead Miami. 67 laps around this circuit here now, stage 1 being just below 20 laps. A similar scenario there for stage 2 as well, and about 25 lap sprint there in stage 3 to the end of that race, where hopefully we'll find ourselves up inside the top 20. At least that was kind of the goal here for today's race. We qualified 24th, just come out of here with a top 20, prove that we can at least better our position from where we qualified on a track where we don't really expect to be very strong, to be completely honest here. Now, like I said, these mile-and-a-half specifically this season, they're going to be rough on us, but it's all about proving ourselves here in this debut season of this NASCAR Heat 5 career mode to prove to a top team like Hendrick Motorsports or Joe Gibbs Racing, Penske Racing, Stuart Haas Racing, that we are worthy of a top ride in the Cup Series. And hopefully in season 2 that opportunity comes around to jump ship from Richard Childress Racing and get a really good car, because I can tell you right now there's no chance we'll probably be on Richard Childress Racing in season 2, but hopefully we will be up towards a 5-star team. Now as you can see, we were working on Daniel Suarez here actually, but I got loose out of turn 2 on lap 6 and overcorrected and hit the outside wall, so I actually picked up some right side damage. You can see it there towards the right front specifically. Fortunately I wouldn't lose any positions, but I did lose some ground, but I would gain that ground back and get to Daniel Suarez once again here now. But we come through to lap 9, you can see the 17 of Chris Buescher up into the battle as well. Our teammate of Tyler Reddick, who started at the back of the grid, was moving his way forwards pretty quickly here now as we came through at a turn 4. We were going to be 3 wide actually with Daniel Suarez as well as that 17 of Buescher as we came through to cross the line. Bowman and Reddick both closing into this group of cars right here with myself and Suarez, Chris Buescher, as well as Christopher Bell here now. And actually I got loose again at a turn 2 on lap 11, and then actually there was a bunch of chaos going on up in front of us. Chase Elliott, the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet driver for Hendrick Motorsports, actually loses an engine. No caution's gonna fly here from Homestead Miami, so we will remain green flag racing, but Elliott is going to find himself out of this race early on here in Homestead Miami, so you can take him out of the equation. Brad Keselowski, on the other hand, he was driving away from the field. He was long gone. Nobody had anything for him here now as he was dominating this first and opening stage here now as I was continuing to battle it out with Daniel Suarez. Mandy Benedetto being slow and in the way actually gave me my opportunity to pass Daniel Suarez and De Benedetto as well. So we move up into 22nd place. Reddick was on the move. He was long gone. Bowman, who started at the back alongside Reddick, well, we were still putting the fight to Alex Bowman here. Now you can see myself going up to the outside here once again into 3 and 4 as I was very consistently running the outside. You guys know I love to run the outside whenever I possibly can on any oval racing game available, and Homestead Miami always presents that opportunity. Kansas Speedway going to be another one here throughout this season that you'll see us running up towards the top, but we come through to 2 laps to go and we're still battling it out here. 3 wide with Chastain and Stenhouse, but the caution is going to fly with just a few laps of racing here in stage 1 remaining, so that will end stage 1 under caution, and Brad Keselowski in dominating fashion drove away from the field, will win stage 1 here as everybody heads into the pit lane for 2 cans of fuel, 4 fresh tires, and some adjustments. Kyle Larson lost 13 positions on the pit lane. We didn't lose, we didn't gain. We start here directly in 19th place where we finished, and now for the start of stage 2 from Miami, let's get amped and turn up the volume. There you have the AMP segment here from Homestead Miami Speedway. Now looking up the inside of Chris Buescher. Not really much ground made up here at the beginning of stage 2 there. Actually a bit of a moment of contact with the 17, but he would get re-clear down into turn 3, so we would just kind of settle in briefly to the 22nd position here, and actually everybody in front of us would drive away. We come through to lap 8 now. I was under attack from the DoorDash Toyota Camry of Bubba Wallace, but stage 2, completely different scenario at the front of the field. Denny Hamlin was now leading this way. Keselowski wasn't driving away from anybody anymore because Hamlin for Joe Gibbs Racing out in front, but I was starting to reel in some traffic in front of us towards the later portions of the second stage to the outside of Michael McDowell in that number 34 car, and we just continue to be comfortable up here in the top lane, and it was working. I mean, you can see we were able to make it work with that momentum on the exit of the corner down the straightaway, and we would get past Michael McDowell here with just 4 laps remaining in stage 2. Surprisingly, I would pretty quickly run down the next group of cars of Daniel Suarez and Ross Chastain with 2 laps to go in the stage. You can see the gap less than a second now between myself and that Trackhouse driver of Suarez in his first debut season with that Trackhouse Racing team now. And as we came through to start the final lap, Suarez side by side on the inside there of that 42 of Ross Chastain. As we head down into turn 1, we're going to get into the mix. We're going to take it 3 wide actually with Suarez and Chastain as we come through towards the exit of the corner. Denny Hamlin already rounding turn 4 to win stage 2 here in a dominating fashion that Keselowski did now as we continue 3 wide into 3 and 4, but we know the caution's about to come out as soon as 10th place crosses the line, and that's going to happen right about now. The caution flies and we're going to get awarded 20th place. Daniel Suarez just barely was ahead of us there at the time of the caution, but nonetheless, you know, so far we've completed the goal, but we still have, of course, one final stage to go, and that goal was to just finish better than where we qualified and prove that we got a little bit more pace in the car. So we would come in again for 4 tires, make some very, very slight adjustments here with some tire pressures, now actually raise them a little bit because I was hoping that we could get a bit better speed on the short run. That was really what I was looking for, because clearly you can see we got really, really strong long run speed. I think we have top 10 long run speed, but we lose so much ground on the short run that we just don't have anywhere near enough time to make up the gap that we lose on that short run, even with how much speed we have in that long run. So we get back underway for the start of stage 3. Denny Hamlin leads the way into 1 and 2. It actually looks like it gets caught off guard by maybe Kevin Harvick. That is for Stuart Haas Racing there in that number 4, but it's going to stay out in front now as we're going to get past Daniel Suarez briefly here down this back straightaway. Eric Jones for RPM on the outside there now as we continue to see them look stronger and stronger, it seems like, in that next next-gen car. Eric Jones, shout out to him now as he continues to impress in that next-gen season so far here in 2022. Up to 17th place here at the end of this first and opening lap here, as you see our beautiful black and green Spotify paint scheme on the track here now through 1 and 2. You can see the shade now on the track here, specifically towards the top of the circuit right there now, up by that outside wall here as we come through 3 wide again briefly with Eric Jones and McDowell. There's been a lot of 3 wide for myself here in this race, to say the least, but you know what, when I'm running up on the top, it's really not that bad. I kind of was just letting it happen here because I knew I could have the momentum on the exit of the corner. Now in the short run, I knew this time around here in stage 3 I had to fight as hard as I could, but I still didn't have a lot of fight in me. Suarez would get past me, the 43 of Jones got past me, Michael McDowell as well. I just don't have the speed that I need on the short run to really capitalize on anything. It's just survival mode, hold on the best I can. And finally, as we came through to 19 laps ago, things started to cycle back into my favor. Now is actually Michael McDowell going to go for a slide into turn 1 after contact off of my front bumper here moments prior, and he saves it. A tremendous save from Michael McDowell, but that was kind of my own doing, and I'm sure he's not going to be happy about that. And actually an interesting Rivals update coming at the end of this episode, because I was a bit surprised to see the things I saw as a caution flies here from 19th place. The caution is going to put us into a position here where everybody's going to pit, but I decided we had to do something different. I knew the AI from my past experience in this game would take 2 tires, so I took 4 tires in hopes that maybe we could try and gain a few extra positions towards the end of this race because of this 4 fresh tire advantage. But of course we give up a lot of positions at the beginning of this run. Now down to 31st place, the lowest we have been all day, and we only have 14 laps of racing remaining with Hamlin out in front continuously since stage 2. You see that QR code there on the top left of your screen. Make sure to scan that. I promise it's not a Rick roll this time. It's a song, but it's a way better song than the Rick roll. I knew I had to get you guys with the last episode in that one, and I'm gonna Rick roll you guys at some point again soon. Don't you worry about that here. Now, as you can already see, we're making some headway forwards now. 13 laps remain to the outside of that 37 of Ryan Preece and that JTG Doherty machine here. Now, as you can see, we were now attacking his teammate of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. moments later, and we were closing in towards where we were when that caution came out. We decided to take the 4 fresh tires compared to the AI taking just 2 fresh tires. It doesn't help though when I'm getting into the outside wall in 1 and 2 there, as we were in a battle with Chastain. We're going to look to the outside of Chastain, actually down this back straightaway, and he's going to crowd us into the outside wall. Ross Chastain, what are you doing, brother? It was actually 4 wide with myself, Chastain, Alfredo, and Bubba Wallace, but I mean still, that 42 just drove us right into the wall. I'm not sure what Ross was trying to do right there, but to 10 laps to go, we just continued pushing on here now to the outside. We got past the 21 of Vanta Benedetto, and now we're trying to fight with that 42 of Chastain as well. Bubba Wallace just a few car lengths in at front here now, as I was actually looking to the outside of Chastain and Bubba Wallace here into 1 and 2, going 3 wide once again here. And actually it looks like both myself and Chastain might be able to get Bubba Wallace here, and Kyle Larson was actually coming out of nowhere. I didn't even realize Kyle Larson was behind me, so he had some form of pit stop error or something, or he took 4 tires as well and was hauling the mail past me. Drove right on past, and he was long gone. Checking out here now as we were battling still with Ross Chastain, but Daniel Suarez as well, Michael McDowell, you name it, we were in a battle with them here in this midfield now. As you can see, 3 wide again, Chastain on the inside, myself on the top. We split this 34 McDowell just like we split Suarez a few moments ago here. Now, I wasn't going to give up this battle easily with Chastain. He just put me in the wall earlier. I still want to beat him here with 4 laps remaining in this race here. Now, could a caution be coming late in this race? That has been a common thing here in NASCAR Heat 5 career modes, and there you see with 3 laps to go, smoke coming from somebody in front of us as we go down into turn 1. It looks like an engine failure, just like Chase Elliott in the very early stages of this race. The AI check up, and so does Ross Chastain. We get away from him. It's Ryan Blaney in the number 12 Penske Ford Mustang with the issues. No caution flies. Blaney gets to the pit lane safely, and we were on an island on our own in 17th place as we came through to start this final lap here in Homestead Miami Speedway. Denny Hamlin cruising to victory. Nothing can stop him here today in Homestead Miami. But for us, I set the goal. Finish better than where we qualify. We are going to do that here by a good 7 positions. We qualified 24th. We're about to come through 3 and 4 for the final time and finish in the 17th position. And obviously some work to do with this team in the R&D to try and get ourselves into a better better car or better pace here at these mile and a half specifically, because 17th place I don't think is going to cut it to make the playoffs here throughout the season. Fortunately, we have a lot of tracks though that favor us, like road courses, plate tracks, and short tracks that can bring us into the mix of making this playoff battle. But the mile and a halves, we've got some work to do, to say the least. You see the rest of the finishing order on your screen. Hamlin won by about 2 seconds. Our teammates of Austin Dillon and Tyler Reddick actually both ended up in the top 10. So all 3 of us started outside the top 15, 2 of them inside the top 10 to finish, and then of course myself, unfortunately not quite able to put up the same pace that they were able to put up there. As you see, 4 drivers DNF at the end of this episode. You also see the playoff grid. We're currently inside the playoffs, but we're not anywhere near as comfortable as we were coming into this race, coming off of our Daytona performance as well as our top 10 at Mid-Ohio. So it's going to be a tough fight here to make this top 16 in our rookie season in a 4-star car, but that's what I wanted here in this first season with this Volume 2 career mode, was a fight to make the playoffs, not just a cruise, and prove our worth here in the Cup Series to try and get a top ride going into the next season. Before we end the episode, you see the playoff grids there in the Xfinity Series and Truck Series as well. Look at the rival system. I forgot that was even in the game after playing Ignition for so long, but we got some drivers that are not happy with us, and I was surprised. Chris Buescher, Kyle Busch, BJ McLeod, when have I ever seen him on the track? Martin Truex Jr., Eric Jones, Larson, all upset with us, and Buescher and Kyle Busch are very, very close to being rivals, surprisingly. So we got to be careful, to say the least. That does it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day for watching. Have a great day, everybody.